Welcome to another video right here on FE Builds. I have got my hazards on because I want to help somebody, and I hope this video would be of help. But disclaimer that I must put out there is, if you do not know what you're doing with regards to this, or you don't have a basic understanding of diagnostics and sensors and vehicles, rather take your vehicle to a professional. But I just want to show you what I did to fix mine. I'm sure many of us who own Suzuki Jimnys have done a lift, and on my Suzuki Jimny I've done quite a major lift. I've done almost a 4-inch lift, 3-inch, 4-inch, whatever it is. It's quite a lift for the Jimny. So you best believe that once we were done with alignment, in order to go straight, I was driving like this. The steering was aiming this way. Now, I want to release an updated video on how to fix this because, as you know, recently I got Mando, the JK Wrangler Rubicon Unlimited, and it's been a blast working on him. However, through Mando, I discovered a few secrets concerning the steering angle sensor issue that might just work in a Jimny. You know, many times us guys who owned a Jimny or who own a Jimny currently, we ask the question, why doesn't Suzuki just put a 1.9 turbo diesel in a Jimny, or why don't they just put a V6 in and make it wider? Or we ask the question, why don't they put a 2-liter, or they put 2-liter turbo, or even a 1.5 turbo? And the answer is, technically, if they do that, they'll be producing a Jeep. Remember, Jimny, Jeep Mini. And that statement is not meant to offend anyone. So please, people, take that with a grain of salt, a pinch of salt. Okay, so steering angle sensor. Here's what I did in order to fix it. Now I'm gonna quickly pop under the car, so the video is gonna pause for a moment. Don't freak out. I'll be back right now. Okay, it's a bit noisy over here, but over here you see the arm that comes from the steering. So when you turn the steering, this arm over here moves left to right. And please, tech people, if you click on this video, please don't click on it in order to mark a test or something. I'm putting this in layman terms just so that anyone who doesn't understand what we're talking about can actually get it and get the picture. So when you turn left or right, this moves left or right. And take note, this goes through a dampener which connects onto the body, but also onto the bar. This way it dampens the left or right movement over here, because this bar continues and connects onto the tire. You see over there. Just trying to get you a good view. Let's try and focus in over there. Okay. So I released a video on this previously, and someone said this is alignment. This is basically alignment, which in a way it is alignment. However, it's not your toe in and toe out settings. So meaning your tires pointing inwards or outwards settings. That's over here. You see that there? It connects to a bar, which I'm trying to show you as nicely as possible. Connects over there onto that tire. So setting these two tires perfectly straight and together is this bar over here. I'll zoom out slightly, hoping to give you a better picture. So that bar over there connects that tire, which clears the rim very well. That's how you check if a tire can fit. And that's partly the reason why I said anything bigger than 31 is not the best for a Jimny unless you have the right rims. You see the clearance between that and the tire and that at the rim? It's very small. So you need to take those things into account. So now basically my fix that I came up with, and I saw this on Big Jimny also. Well, this part I saw on Big Jimny. The second part is what they most probably do in workshops to fix this. If you loosen these bolts, I think it's the bolt on this side at the end. If you loosen that bolt, this bar over here will spin freely. This bar here. And when you move this bar either to the left or the right while the car is idling like this, as you can hear, the steering will be moving either more to the one side or to the other. Therefore, you're correcting your steering angle, where your steering is sitting. You're putting it back in the center. So it's technically alignment in a way. However, your steering angle sensor will still be out after you do this. You do this, let your buddy, while you do this, let your buddy or your friend or your wife or your whoever just be in the car and just watch up until the point where the center goes into the center part of where it's supposed to be. Your steering goes into the center, and make sure that the car is driving straight at the point where you're doing this. So you're driving straight. The steering might be pointing in an angle like I showed you, but make sure the car is going in a straight line, and then do this step. The steering will be moving inside. No one should touch it until the steering becomes straight, because now we're correcting the angles and what's it called, the geometry. It also helps with the fan-on bars. So you can adjust these over here. These are the sole. But anyways, adjust this until the steering is in center, and then lock it back. See at the end there, that bolt, lock it. Now, if you've done everything that I said you should do, your steering should have moved. So while you're adjusting that, it would have been moving. It would be going straight. And your buddy's job was to make sure that your steering went straight like that and just sat straight there. And just a note before you actually get up and go do this: don't do this on a unlevel surface, otherwise it's not going to work. Go find a parking lot somewhere where it's level, because the next step will require the more technical, advanced stuff, and that's where it gets tricky. So use a parking spot that's safe to do this, and as you set your steering straight, it'll be like this. As you change those settings and you tighten it when you get the go-ahead from your buddy or your friend who was checking on it, that your steering is now sitting straight. So that's the first step, all done. Now the next step is, there's an OBD2 connector down there at the bottom, somewhere here to be precise, over there. There's an OBD2 connector. Now please do not do this if you are not a professional. I can't show you on mine because it's different on all OBD2 devices, and some devices won't even have this kind of functionality, but I'll explain from here onwards. So depending on how advanced your OBD2 device is, it'll have special functions, and those special functions will range across a variety of manufacturers, including Suzuki, and hopefully it also features the Jimny on yours. Anyways, in those special functions, you'll see one function called steering angle sensor relearn. And basically when you click on that and it's plugged in, it starts its connection process. It asks you for the car, you select your car, your Jimny, your model, and you should know all that. You select that, you go in. It gives you two options: recalibrate the ABS system or recalibrate the ECS, electronic stability, ESC control. And it'll ask you to do a few steps. Like on mine, it asks me to do what you can see that I'm doing on the screen. So it asks me to turn full left, then full right, then put it back in the center, and then press OK. Did that, and everything was sorted. And then you press OK. That's how it was on mine. And then it calibrates it. You can, if you know what you're doing and you're a technician, you've got a bit more technical knowledge, you can also calibrate your ABS unit through your device. If your device is good enough and you trust it enough, I would recommend, look, if you don't know what you're doing and your car is still brand new and in warranty, then rather take it to Suzuki and let them sort it out for you. They'll do a good job. They know their car, they know what they're doing. Trust them and let them do their job. If your car's out of warranty and you want to try some experiments, that's where this comes in. But there is a big red disclaimer saying do this at your own risk. So yeah, that's what I did. That's a wrap for this video. Here's a Suzuki Jimny video for everyone who's been complaining because I've been releasing too many Jeep videos. This is also a Jeep. It's a Jeep Mini Jimny.